Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Oh my. Welcome to Convocation, to start the academic year. I cannot tell you how thrilled and exciting this is for me, how thrilled and excited I am to be with you. And thank you for that amazingly warm welcome. I want to begin by thanking Margaret Angelini, the director of the Guild of Carillonneurs, for the lovely music during our reception. And I also want to thank our student group, Yon Valou, for bringing their lively music to our procession. So I'd like us to continue our celebration. I'd like to introduce the Wellesley College Choir, who will lead us in singing the alma mater. Please stand. Thank you. That was just beautiful. And I promise I will know the words. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Reverend Dr. Tiffany Steinwert, our Dean of Religious and Spiritual Life, who will give the invocation.
Let us be together. Nestled on the shoreline of our cherished Lake Waban, we gather once again to initiate a new year. Take a moment. Look around. Be present to this moment, to this rite of passage, and to this particular beloved community. For it is with these people gathered round, students, staff, and faculty, friends and colleagues, that we will sojourn this year together, as we nurture in one another and in ourselves the wisdom and strength, tenacity and drive, grace and compassion necessary to confront the ever-growing challenges of our lives and the world. So let us begin, centered and grounded in this space. May we be like the trees planted by the water, standing tall and sure amidst all that comes our way, bending and swaying, bowed, not broken. May we remember the beauty and calm of the lake when the storms of life seem to grow and rage round us. And above all, may we hold fast to one another. Like the complex and inextricably interconnected root systems running even now beneath our feet, may our relationships with one another look around. May our relationships look around. May our relationships with one another run just as deep, winding and intertwining one with the other so that we might cultivate a community that binds us together through shared values and a common purpose, made stronger by the diverse gifts and graces of all who join. So take a moment. Remember and savor today, this place, the strong trees of the shoreline, the soothing waters of Waban, the deep roots of the forest. May it be so with us this year. Amen. I'd like to invite once again our President Paula A. Johnson, back to the podium.
Dean Steinwert, thank you for those quite beautiful and very powerful and meaningful words. Good afternoon. I am so happy and honored to be here with all of you at the start of Wellesley's 142nd year and at the beginning of the first as president of Wellesley. Thank you. My family and I arrived on campus about 7 weeks ago, and we already feel the power of the Wellesley effect. I am so grateful to all of the faculty, the students, staff, alumni, and friends who have so warmly welcomed us. Now, what a great pleasure it is to welcome you. To those of you here today who are like me, first years, we share a special bond. If you've noticed me wearing a lot of red lately, you, the red class of 2020, are the reason. A shout out to you. A warm welcome to our 9 new Davis Scholars, our transfer student, our new faculty, and to our new administrative and union members. We are so delighted to have you with us. And a warm welcome back to the yellow class of 2019, the purple class of 2018, and to the green class of 2017, our seniors. You have the experience of the past 3 years to guide you. We look to you, and you lead us. I am humbled that you have trusted me with the mantle of leadership of Wellesley College. My work over the past 30 years has been at the nexus of science, medicine, and public health. My focus has been on women's health and advancing the science of how women and men experience health and disease differently. In reflecting on the connection between my past and the present, health is and should be an issue of civil rights, of human rights. And the greatest accelerant for human rights is education. It is a true joy and a privilege to join you in this work, to join in this mission with you. For all of us, it's a season of firsts. First convocation, the first time seniors wear their robes, the first day of classes, and for some of you, the first fall you'll experience in beautiful New England. And if the polls hold true, on Tuesday, November 8th, just 69 days, 69 days, just 69 days from today, we will have another big first, our first woman president, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Wellesley class of 1969. And I would venture to say, no matter our political views, that has to make us proud. As has been widely reported, the young Hillary Rodham showed early signs of leadership, and at commencement, she was tapped to speak on behalf of her class. Now, this was the 60s, a time of sweeping change and challenge, and her words reflected the spirit of the time. She talked about the gap between expectations and realities, and how she and her classmates aspired to bridge the divide, both on campus and in the larger world. She spoke of the goal of education as being nothing less than human liberation. And she spoke about, and I quote, the art of making what appears to be impossible possible. Making what appears to be impossible possible. The very fact that a woman is poised to become the next president in itself can be seen as fulfillment of this aspiration. In 1875, when Wellesley first opened its doors to students, women could not vote. It would be another 50 years before the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that corrected this injustice. Much has changed since then. We know that the impact of women in leadership taking their rightful places across the globe is profound. Now, much more research needs to be done to give a broader picture of women's experiences, but we know that the impact of their leadership across a range of occupations is transformational. Some achievements make headlines. Others, equally important, are felt more than seen. When we change the world of science, when we create new fields of knowledge, when we prepare the next generation for what lies ahead, that is leadership. We also lead through example. We lead by sharing lessons from our own life journeys. Leadership can be global, or it can even be just across the hall. Yolette Garcia, a member of the class of 1977 who has worked in public broadcasting and higher education, exemplifies this kind of leadership. In a letter to her younger self, published in Wellesley's alumni magazine last year, she offered the following advice. Seek the best in others, learn to listen first, and speak last, and be patient. And to the last sentence, she noted with a sense of humor, keep working on that, Yolette. Our nearly 35,000 alumni are often called the most powerful women's network in the world, and for very good reason. This lifelong community is both the inspiration and the support that allows us to have the courage and the boldness to dream the impossible. This network will enrich your life in countless ways, and amazingly enough, it could also save it. This was true for Yolette Garcia, whose Wellesley dorm mate donated a kidney to her. a remarkable story of deep Wellesley relationships. As I think about all of this, I find myself tremendously moved and excited for all that has gone before and for all that lies ahead. This is why I am here, and I imagine it is why you're here. But at the same time, perhaps you wonder, how will you get from here to there? How will you take your place in this remarkable company of women? How will you bridge the gap between reality and expectations, between the possible and what seems entirely impossible? Well, I have good news. You are exactly where you should be. Not a single person whom you admire burst into the world fully formed, as the goddess of wisdom, Athena, is said to have emerged from Zeus's skull. Unlike Athena, we are not born wise. Our accomplishments are functions of time played out through a series of choices. That is the process through which we grow, and that is your Wellesley mission. The glorious, daunting, messy, surprising process of self-creation. I've always loved the start of the academic year. There are a few times in which time feels so abundant. With months spooling off ahead, calendars are largely unfilled, and all of us know how quickly this sense of bounty can give way to anxious scarcity. As deadlines loom, competing commitments clamor for our attention. So as you look forward to the months to come, I urge you to reflect on your relationship with time, to be conscious of how you use it, not semester by semester or month by month. In the wise words of writer Annie Dillard, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. What we do with this hour and that one is what we are doing. You can't possibly know what life will throw at you 10 years or a day from now. You can only make decisions based on what you know today. Live your days at Wellesley with intention and be present each hour of each day. So as we prepare for an election where a Wellesley alumna stands a good chance of becoming the nation's first woman president, I urge you to take this possibility as inspiration for the coming year, to challenge the seemingly impossibles in your own lives. In doing so, you take your place in a long line of change makers, those who ignore others' conviction that their goal is impossible. As is widely attributed to Nelson Mandela, it's only impossible until it's done. This recognition is deeply rooted in what it means to be fully human. So what to make of all this? I want you to consider these words from Wellesley alumna Ophelia Dahl. The Partners in Health co-founder wrote, "Many of the tools you will need to make a difference in the world have been in your hands since you were in your 20s or maybe even earlier. But it may take you another 20 years to realize it." In other words, start where you are. You don't need to wait 20 years or even 20 minutes. Now, a special word to seniors. Even as you look towards graduation, take time to savor the time you have left with us. Take time for friendships. Take time to explore that intriguing subject that you haven't had time for until now. According to the 2015 senior survey, many graduating students wish they had gotten involved in more diverse activities, gotten to know faculty better, had explored the curriculum more, especially in the humanities. If any of these resonate, you still have time. Last, take time to support your classmates behind you. You have been in their shoes. You can offer wisdom and support like no one else. Help them make their time at Wellesley the very best possible. And to all of you, be curious, experiment. Take joy in the many possibilities that lie before you. Whatever your questions, you can count on finding good counsel on matters large and small, whether in conversation or through our vast resources. An extraordinary resource that deserves special note this year is our new reimagined career education initiative, made possible by an extraordinary gift from two dedicated Wellesley alumni. One of the most and important exciting aspects of the new career education is that it is designed to be in service to a liberal arts education. Now that may seem paradoxical, but here's why. A lot of the pressure students feel about the future seems to stem from a lack of information. With clearer guidance and information, we believe you will feel new freedom to explore your passions or what may become a passion, to have the freedom to take full advantage of a liberal arts education. So as you explore your passions and consider your choices, as you create your future day by day, hour by hour, you may notice through the years a memory of music echoes in your thoughts, marking the moments that changed everything. One of my most distinct memories from my first weeks at Wellesley was the carillon that we heard this afternoon. Hearing these remarkable bells ring through the warm, clear air, the music has stayed with me. Bells have a long history in human culture. They are both signal and sound. They remind us of the passage of time. It's time to get up. It's time to go to class. Time to come to the table. They ring out in both times of celebration and at times of mourning. They call us together with beauty, enriching our shared experience of being alive in this moment. One of the unique things about Wellesley's carillon is that it's played by students. And as the world has changed, as students have changed, so have our carillon concerts. Yes, we may still hear America the Beautiful or Mozart, but we've also been treated to songs from Phantom of the Opera or the Addams Family theme. This strikes me as a beautiful evolution, a metaphor for what we aspire to at Wellesley as a whole. To breathe new life into our traditions, to make them wholly ours, even as we take our place within a long and proud history. Wellesley has changed a great deal since it opened its doors in 1875. The fact that I stand here before you today is just one indication of just how much. At the same time, our highest aspirations remain very much the same: to educate Wellesley women, women who will use their excellent education, the totality of their Wellesley experience, to make a difference in the world. This difference will be yours to define. It will be your difference, and it will look different for each and every one of you. So when you hear our beautiful carillon, let that be a reminder of the passage of time, a reminder that, in Annie Dillard's words, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. And if in that moment you find yourself somewhere other than where you want to be, you can pause and start again. So today, as we look towards the months ahead, we start and restart together. We go on the journey of making the impossible possible. I could not be happier or more excited to be starting this year with you. Thank you. Thank you. So now we will hear from Provost and Dean of the College, Andy Shannon.
Thank you, President Johnson. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege to be here again to greet my colleagues in the faculty and the administration at the beginning not just of a new academic year, but of a new chapter in the college's history. It is a huge pleasure to welcome our first-year students in the Red Class of 2020. A big welcome back to those in the classes of 2018 and 19. And above all, hail to the green class of 2017. So verdantly resplendent in the academic gowns that you will wear at commencement next spring. Like all of you, I know, I feel the optimism and buoyancy that our new president has brought to the campus in just 8 weeks. We often talk about the Wellesley bubble, but this is a different kind of bubble. This is a bubble of rediscovered excitement and energy, a sense of anticipation, a moment when our challenges feel manageable and our aspirations achievable. And you might say, let's just enjoy the moment. Wellesley, in my 28 years of experience here, can be a rather self-critical place. There'll be plenty of time to interrogate our optimism, to worry about how to keep it alive. For now, on this beautiful day of reconvening, let's just revel in the good feeling and not overthink things. And perhaps I should end my speech right there, especially with the weather overhead. But I wouldn't be a dean if I ended my speech now, because overthinking is what we do. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only person here today feeling energized by this new mood on campus, and hoping that we can take advantage of it to move this great institution and this great community forward in ways that will endure beyond just today or the next few days. That's really the question I want to speak to for a few minutes today. How can we make the most of this, I think, historic opportunity? And I'm going to answer that big question briefly, I assure you, and somewhat obliquely, by telling you about another inspiring event that I attended a few weeks ago. The event was a dinner marking the 50th anniversary of an Upward Bound program that Wellesley and MIT have jointly run since the 1960s. I don't know how familiar, some of you are probably familiar with Upward Bound and some maybe not. It is a federally supported educational program that originated in the war on poverty in the 1960s. Its goal is to encourage high school students from low-income backgrounds and those whose parents did not attend college to continue on to post-secondary education. Since 1968, Wellesley and MIT have funded an Upward Bound program for students living in the city of Cambridge. As part of that program, each and every summer, we have hosted a 6-week session here for approximately 50 students. They live in your residence halls, they take academic courses in your classrooms, and they attend often the poster sessions at the end of the summer research program. The experience here gives them a sense of what it's like to be a college student. It helps them develop skills necessary for success in college and helps them prepare to apply to college. The results have been impressive, a 90% success rate. That means that literally hundreds and hundreds of first-generation, low-income students who might well have ended their education at the age of 18 have instead gone on to earn a college degree. And this wonderful program has had a very modest footprint on this campus. I bet most people here today really have no sense of what Upward Bound has been on our campus. It takes place when most of you are away, most of us, well, I'm here year-round now. Most of you are away during the summer. Much of the actual work of the program is done by the unsung heroes of this community. And they are the women and men who behind the scenes have made events like this Convocation possible. And yet, this little program is so deeply resonant with some of our most cherished institutional values, with the values of access and equity that guide our need-blind admissions policy, with the ethic of social justice that animates our entire institution. There were only a few of us from Wellesley at that dinner celebrating the 50th anniversary. And I wish others of you had been there to hear the testimony of the graduates to the transformative impact of those few weeks in your residence halls, the way in which it changed their lives and their profound gratitude to Wellesley College. It was moving. It filled me with pride. As I listened, I took away two lessons about the past that may be relevant to our immediate future under our new president. The first is about the value of persistence. In the 1960s, many universities and colleges, prodded mostly by student activists, created Upward Bound programs. By the way, student activism on this campus contributed to our own involvement in Upward Bound. In that famous commencement address that the president just alluded to, Hillary Rodham hailed the arrival of Upward Bound on our campus as a sign that we were pulling ourselves into the world outside. On many other campuses, however, such programs have fallen by the wayside, but not here. Together with MIT, we have remained true to the principles that motivated us in the first place, and we have kept the program running. I'd like to think that at our best, persistence defines us. We are an institution that has held true to our commitments, to feminism, to social responsibility, to academic freedom, to the liberal arts. In our immediate future, we will have many opportunities to demonstrate persistence, I can promise you. Right now, for example, we're dealing with something that feels to many like a crisis in the humanities, a fear that students are turning away from the fields of study that have traditionally played a central role in liberal arts education at Wellesley. This is a moment, in my view, for us to persist in the educational model that we have practiced. Of course, our curriculum will and should evolve. Some fields will gain in popularity, others will decline. But we have long maintained a balance and a breadth within our curriculum that encourages you, students, to explore the diverse perspectives of disciplines across the sciences, social sciences, and arts and humanities. In my view, we need to persist with that balance and breadth. To the outside world, we need to make the case that all our liberal arts disciplines develop transferable and, yes, marketable skills. The ability to think critically, to analyze text and data and image, to communicate effectively in different media across cultural boundaries. But I also think we need to be careful not to reduce what you're experiencing here in these precious 4 years to skill building. We must persist in talking about love of learning, about educating you for a lifetime, about giving you the opportunity to explore in the most profound ways what it means to be human. The other lesson I drew from that Upward Bound event was about the virtue of partnership. What a visionary and self-assured step it was for Wellesley in 1968 to make that connection with such a very different institution. The original motivations behind our exchange with MIT were intensely practical. It was a time of fiscal pressure. The two schools wanted to give their students access to a curriculum, to an educational program, a cultural experience that neither institution felt it had the resources to give on its own. It's interesting to read how in the late 60s, the two institutions described our differences and similarities as the basis for a mutually beneficial collaboration. MIT described itself as, and these are quotes from the time, a large urban coeducational university with exceptional strengths in the sciences and engineering, an orientation toward professional education, and with a history of pursuing and disseminating knowledge responsive to the needs and goals of society. At the same time, we presented ourselves as a liberal arts college for women located in a country setting, I like that, with a tradition of preparing its students to integrate knowledge from various fields in the arts and sciences, and to combine their regard for scholarship with a concern for contemporary social problems. In the intervening years, between then and when you all arrived on the campus, the exchange has evolved, and a lot of things have not played out as those founders anticipated. In the end, both places have gone on to take on additional costs that the exchange was intended to avoid. In shorthand, we have computer science. You're probably thinking, thank heavens. They have arts and humanities. But the basic principle still holds. No single institution can provide everything from within its own resources. We need to be outward looking in a way that that generation of the late 60s chose to be. We need to continue making partnerships that broaden our horizons, connect us to wider worlds, and provide opportunities for students and faculty that wouldn't otherwise be possible or affordable. And this is the moment when I want to speak particularly to my faculty colleagues, because it may be stretching a point, but I'd like to suggest that we need to apply that same logic of partnership to the internal organization of our college. As we all know, we too are living in a time of fiscal pressure. If we are to sustain our commitment to access and affordability and equity and excellence, we can't expect to grow the size of the faculty as we have over the past decade. And as we have heard and know, we're heading in the direction of a slightly smaller faculty. With slightly reduced numbers, there is a greater need for departments and programs to work together collaboratively, to look for overlaps and synergies, to explore joint appointments and jointly taught courses, and to coordinate course offerings in a way that will offer students the broadest possible education. I don't minimize the difficulty of this. We faculty are programmed to take a departmental view of the world. We regard the addition of a faculty position or the subtraction of a position as an indicator of how much the college values our department or our field. But this is a moment when collectively, I believe we have to change some of those attitudes, when we have to move in the direction of prioritizing partnership between departments, and we need to put our citizenship of the college on a par with our affiliation with our department colleagues. So I'm sure to some extent to those on the wings that was a little dull interlude, but it's important. I think partnership is not just of one kind. We're talking about internal and external partnership. And that's my answer to the question of how we take advantage of this inspiring moment of transition and opportunity. I'm sure there are many other answers, but to me, these two are critical. Let us be persistent. Let us hold to the values and commitments that define us, and let us be open to partnerships, internal and external, that enable us to extend our influence, enrich and diversify our education, and ultimately, amid whatever challenges we have, fulfill our college's mission. So thank you. Before I introduce our next speaker, I just want to go off script for a second. At commencement, at the end of May, before I read the names of the graduating seniors, I read the names of the seniors who were not present to receive their degrees because they were representing Wellesley at the NCAA championships in crew. As you clearly know, our crew team were the national champions for the first time in the college's history. A Wellesley team were the national champions. And I just think congratulations to you all. So, thank you. And now it is my honor to introduce the President of College Government, Zeynep Yunus.
Thank you, Provost Shannon. Hello, Wellesley. To the Red class, welcome. Wellesley has been waiting for you. I hope your orientation was filled with long-lasting memories and just as many new contacts in your phone. To the yellow and purple class, welcome back. And last but not least, to the green class, seniors, are you ready for round 4? In about 9 months, we will have given birth to our hard-earned bachelor degrees. But that day is not today. Today is Convocation, a day that marks the beginning of the academic year, a day that marks the beginning of a new chapter in Wellesley's history, a chapter complete with a new and promising president. During new beginnings, I can't help but to think of the past. And as I begin my final year alongside my 2017 siblings, I can't help but to think back to our very first night at Wellesley. The day we all arrived as eager first years, ready to take on the college life, or what we imagined to be the college life. The night we all marched to the lake with our res halls, chanting our cheers, taking great pride in our community. To some, that day may seem like it was just yesterday. To others, it may seem like 6 long, arduous semesters. Yet regardless, I think it's safe to say that it feels as if our 4 years at Wellesley have flown by. You see, that's the interesting thing about this abstract concept called time. It's limited, finite, and doesn't wait for anyone. Yet at the same time, it's indefinable and elusive. Now, some of you listening may be sitting there and either tweeting away or telling your neighbor that this girl is having some sort of public existential crisis. That very well may be the case, but hear me out. At some point or another, we all may have felt that there is not enough time at Wellesley. There's always something we want to add to our schedules, be it classes or commitments or hobbies. Perhaps at one point we may even have felt that we wish we had more than just 24 hours in a given day, just so we could check off all that we had on our to-do list. Maybe the solution is not to add more hours to our day, but rather to reimagine the way in which we use the time we have at Wellesley. I do realize this is easier said than done. We are college students after all. You have P-sets to juggle with papers and midterms, all while trying to squeeze in a few hours of sleep here and there. But I believe the answer lies in finding that ever-elusive balance between our academic lives and our personal lives. Our time at Wellesley is limited and constrained to 4 years, causing opportunities to create lifelong memories with our friends, to grow and to find ourselves in our voices, to step beyond our comfort zones, and to learn more about our siblings and our community. These opportunities pass by us in a blur. So Wellesley, this year, I challenge you to do the following. 1, be more spontaneous. If your friend asks you to go into Boston with them on a random Thursday, Tuesday, say yes at least once. These moments of spontaneity make for great stories to keep and to tell years down the road when people ask you about your Wellesley experience. Take random walks to the Ville with your friends. The conversations that strike during these moments are like gold. Treasure it. Check off one of the 50 things to do at Wellesley. As the esteemed poet and musician Aubrey Drake Graham, more commonly known as Drake, once said, "You only live once." So truly, be spontaneous this year. 2, live in the moment. This ties closely with being spontaneous. So often, I find that we are always thinking about what's to come next. Right now, we're sitting at Convocation. Some of us are probably thinking about graduation, though, and what's to come after that, jobs, housing, etc. I know I certainly am. But in these moments, we need to remind ourselves to push the pause button and to take in the present. Embrace what's happening right now. For seniors, this is the last year we will be undergraduate students. So really, live in the present moment. 3, engage in the Wellesley community. Our student body is so rich and diverse in experiences and backgrounds that we stand to learn so much from one another. I ask that you take the opportunity to engage in campus dialogues. Go to talkbacks, lectures, learn about the issues affecting our siblings, and then stand in solidarity with one another. Solidarity, after all, extends beyond just a share or a like on social media. Rather fitting to the theme of this speech, I believe my time is coming to an end, so I will leave you with one final thought. Our time here is what we make it. It's an exciting time to be at Wellesley this year for a multitude of reasons. So, let's make it the best year yet. And to my fellow seniors, let's end this year on a very high note. Thank you, guys. I would now like to introduce our Chief Justice for this year, Myra Ahmed.
Welcome first years, and welcome back Wellesley community. As myself and the class of 2017 enter our final year, and I begin my term as Chief Justice, I'd like to take this time to share with you all the bigger picture and the importance of the Honor Code. Knowing the importance of being an honorable citizen is a lifelong skill. I want to share a brief story from my childhood. Every night, before I went to sleep, my mother told me, "It doesn't matter what you wore or what you gossiped about. It matters what you learned." That, in essence, is what we are all here for. An education that will help us break every glass ceiling we encounter, help us smash through every record that preceded us, and help us become the successful students we set out to be. With any good education, it is important we look outside the classroom and embody honesty, integrity, and respect. Abiding by the Honor Code is about being the bigger person in any situation. Regardless of what field you go into, our decisions and actions will be evaluated and judged by others in our profession. And the skills you learned along the way, through being a student of respect and integrity, will help you. Albert Einstein once said, "Whoever is careless in the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters." Years from now, I want to see your faces on TV explaining why you refused to take $1 million to change a law, because you were honest to the hardworking people you represent. I want to see you be the CEO who refuses to cut corners and use pesticides and increase profits. I want to see you all push harder and achieve more with the help of generations of Wellesley women before us. I want this to be a year for us to earn the respect of fellow students, to value that college government cabinet followed through on their promises, and help the student body. And I want to cultivate a culture of respect for future Wellesley students. Your behavior today will impact the person you become tomorrow. It may not feel significant now, but 10 years from today, it won't be temptation on an exam. It'll be the piece that could have won you a Pulitzer Prize, the promotion you could have earned, or the presidency that you had fought so hard for. I know we've all had to make tough decisions and sometimes taken the easy road. To quote Ed Miliband, "We do not have to accept the world as we find it. And we have a responsibility to leave our world a better place and never walk by on the other side of injustice. This year, I want to work towards making the Honor Code help you respect the hard road. I hope this year we can all come together and conduct ourselves as our Honor Code states, with honesty, integrity, and respect. Thank you all for granting me the opportunity to be your Chief Justice, and I wish you all a wonderful year.
Thank you, Myra, for speaking on a topic that is truly at the heart of the Wellesley experience. Please stand for America the Beautiful, and then the benediction.
I invite us to gather once more before we leave this space. With our eyes fixed firmly on the horizon of a new year, may we remember the words of those who go before us. Start where you are. Be more spontaneous. Take time to do all the things you long to do. Now, not later. Respect the hard road. Persist, persist, persist. Consider carefully how you choose to spend your day, indeed, your lives. And in all we do in this season of firsts, may we be assured by the truth that all of us are exactly where we ought to be. So let us go forth this day, guided by honesty, integrity, and respect, as we bridge that gap between the way the world is and ought to be, striving together always to make the impossible possible. Amen.
Thank you, Dean Steinwert. This concludes our convocation ceremony. How wonderful it is to be with you again. Faculty, please follow the convocation marshals in the procession. Students, please remain in your seats for step singing, which will begin shortly. Faculty and staff, you are more than welcome to stay for step singing, one of Wellesley's oldest and most beloved traditions, by gathering at the rear of the theater. Thank you. Let us begin.